Today we're looking at Ulysses S. Grant during the Civil War. Hello, welcome to the Daily Bellringer. Please don't forget to subscribe and take a look at the questions down in the description. Also, don't forget to check out dailybellringer.com where you'll find more resources that go with many of the Bellringer videos. During the American Civil War, Ulysses S. Grant became one of the most important military leaders in United States history. Grant helped lead the Union Army to victory over the Confederacy and played a major role in preserving the nation. Grant was born in 1822 in Point Pleasant, Ohio. Before the Civil War began, he attended the United States Military Academy at West Point. After graduating, he served in the military during the Mexican-American War. However, after leaving the Army, Grant struggled to find success in civilian life. He lived in St. Louis, Missouri for several years, trying his hand at farming, selling real estate, working as a clerk in a store, among other jobs. By 1861, he had moved here to Galena, Illinois, where he took a job working in his father's leather shop. When the Civil War began, it was here in Galena where Grant signed back up to serve in the Union Army. Eager to find anyone with military experience and training, Grant was first appointed colonel of the 21st Illinois Infantry, but he was soon promoted to a brigadier general in July of 1861. Grant's first battle of the war in which he commanded troops came on November 7th of 1861 at the Battle of Belmont in far eastern Missouri. The battle was inconclusive, with both sides claiming victory. However, it did give Grant his first action during the war. At the start of the war, many Union generals were cautious and slow to attack Confederate forces. But Grant was different because he believed in taking action. His first major victory, which gave him national notoriety, came in February of 1862 at the Battle of Fort Donelson in western Tennessee. Grant demanded the Confederate Army surrender without conditions. Because of this, he became known as Unconditional Surrender Grant. Many considered this victory to be the first major victory for the Union forces during the war, as approximately 12,000 Confederates surrendered, and now Union forces could push further south. The next major victory for Grant came at the Battle of Shiloh in April of 1862. This battle was one of the bloodiest battles fought in the United States up to that time. Confederate forces launched a surprise attack against Grant's army in far southern Tennessee, almost on the border with Mississippi. On the first day of the battle, Grant's forces suffered huge losses and were driven from the battlefield with their backs to the Tennessee River. Grant, however, refused to retreat. On the second day of the battle, Union troops fought back and forced the Confederates to withdraw. The battle showed Grant's determination and willingness to continue fighting, even during difficult situations. Arguably, Grant's greatest success during the war came with the capture of Vicksburg, Mississippi in 1863. The city of Vicksburg was important because it controlled the Mississippi River. If the Union captured the city, the Confederacy would be split in two. Grant led a long campaign to surround the city and cut off supplies. After weeks of siege and bombardment, Confederate forces surrendered on July 4th of 1863. The victory at Vicksburg was a turning point in the Civil War because it gave the Union complete control of the Mississippi River. After his victory at Vicksburg in July of 1863, Grant went on to defeat Confederate forces at Chattanooga, Tennessee in November of that year. These victories gained Grant the attention of President Abraham Lincoln. Lincoln admired Grant because he was willing to fight aggressively against the Confederates. In March of 1864, Lincoln promoted Grant to commander of all the Union armies. After taking over, Grant worked closely with his friend General William Tecumseh Sherman to develop a new strategy to defeat the Confederacy, attacking from several directions at once. One of Grant's biggest challenges was fighting Confederate General Robert E. Lee in Virginia in the spring and summer of 1864. Grant led the Union Army through a series of difficult battles against Lee's forces, pushing closer to the Confederate capital of Richmond. Even though Union casualties were high, Grant continued to pressure the Confederate Army. The war became a war of attrition, as Grant knew he had more supplies and men than the Confederates and had to wear them down. Many called Grant a butcher because of the staggering losses suffered by the Union, but Grant was determined and kept fighting on. In April 1865, Richmond fell to Union forces under Grant's command. Confederate General Robert E. Lee surrendered to Grant at Appomattox Courthouse in Virginia on April 9th of 1865. This surrender effectively ended the Civil War. After the war, Grant returned here to Galena and lived in this home for a short period before being elected the 18th President of the United States. In 4 short years, Grant had risen from an unknown store clerk in Galena, Illinois, to one of the greatest military heroes in U.S. history. Through his leadership and determination, the Union was saved and the nation remained one. So with that, hopefully you learned something, and thanks for watching.